What if I told you that WWE's next franchise player might not be Obafemi, might not be Braun Breaker, and might not even be Jacob Fatu? What if the superstar who changes WWE forever hasn't even made his official debut yet? Because if the recent reports are true, WWE is preparing to bring in Zilla Fatu, the son of the late Umaga and another real-life member of the legendary Anoa'i family. At first glance, this may seem like just another Bloodline addition, but if you look deeper, Zilla Fatu's arrival could completely reshape WWE's future. Not just because of who he is, but because of when he's arriving, who he'll be surrounded by, and what WWE is trying to build for the next 10 years. This isn't simply another debut, this could be the beginning of WWE's next generation. For the last few years, WWE has been built around one story more than any other, the Bloodline. Roman Reigns' legendary championship reign didn't just make him one of the greatest champions of the modern era, it transformed an entire family into the biggest attraction in professional wrestling. The Usos reached another level. Solo Sikoa instantly became a main event player after joining Roman. Sami Zayn became the most beloved babyface in wrestling during his time with the group. Even Jacob Fatu, after entering the story, immediately felt like a superstar because of the spotlight that comes with standing beside Roman Reigns. That's the power of the Bloodline. It doesn't just create great stories, it creates stars. And now WWE may be preparing to add another member who has the potential to become even bigger than anyone expects. Zilla Fatu isn't just another wrestler with the famous last name. He's the son of WWE legend Umaga, one of the most dominant monsters the company has ever produced. He's also the nephew of WWE Hall of Famer Rikishi and the real-life cousin of the Usos, Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu. Wrestling isn't just part of his family history, it's part of his identity. In interviews, Zilla has openly said that his heart is with WWE because that's where his family's legacy belongs. More importantly, he has repeatedly spoken about wanting to finish the legacy his father left behind. That alone gives WWE something they simply cannot manufacture, a genuine emotional story that fans can immediately connect with. Over the last few weeks, multiple reports have suggested that Zilla Fatu has been spotted at the WWE Performance Center, which has often been one of the final steps before a wrestler officially joins the company. While WWE hasn't publicly confirmed his signing, the speculation has only grown stronger. Historically, many future WWE stars have appeared at the Performance Center shortly before their official debuts. So naturally, fans have started asking the same question. If Zilla really is coming, where does he fit? And honestly, there may not be a better storyline waiting for him than the Bloodline. The timing couldn't be more perfect. Roman Reigns is once again at the top of WWE as World Heavyweight Champion, and unlike his previous championship reign, this version of Roman isn't simply trying to dominate the company himself. WWE appears to be using Roman's position to elevate the next generation at the same time. We've already seen Jacob Fatu become one of WWE's fastest rising stars. We've seen the Usos once again become central characters. The Bloodline is slowly rebuilding itself, but this time it feels different. It isn't just about keeping Roman on top, it's about making sure that when Roman eventually steps away from full-time competition, WWE already has the next wave of stars ready to carry the company. That is where Zilla Fatu could become the missing piece. Unlike previous Bloodline additions, Zilla arrives with something unique. He has independent wrestling experience, he's developed his own style, and he combines the explosive power traditionally associated with the Anoa'i family with a faster, more modern approach inside the ring. WWE has spent the last few years trying to create younger main event stars who can lead the company through the next decade. Braun Breaker represents one future pillar. Obafemi looks like another. Jacob Fatu has already proven he belongs. Zilla Fatu has every opportunity to join that conversation if WWE introduces him correctly. One of the most interesting possibilities is how WWE chooses to debut him. If the reports are accurate and his arrival is close, there are several directions the company could take. He could appear during the build to SummerSlam, inserting himself into Roman Reigns' rivalry with Seth Rollins. He could wait until SummerSlam itself and shock the wrestling world by helping Roman retain the World Heavyweight Championship, or WWE could delay his main roster debut altogether, allowing him to spend time developing further before eventually entering the Bloodline story when the moment feels even bigger. Whatever path WWE chooses, his debut immediately becomes one of the most important moments in the company's long-term storytelling because of everything it could lead to afterward. And that's where things become really exciting. WWE has repeatedly shown that the Bloodline story isn't ending anytime soon. Instead of closing the chapter after WrestleMania, they've continued adding new layers, introducing new family members, creating fresh alliances, and constantly evolving the group's internal dynamics. Rather than allowing the story to become stale, WWE appears committed to reinventing it every few months. Jacob Fatu changed everything when he arrived. Zilla Fatu could do exactly the same. What's fascinating is that Zilla doesn't necessarily have to join Roman Reigns immediately. WWE could easily present him as someone caught between different sides of the family. Does he stand beside Roman, the current tribal chief? Does he side with The Rock if that rivalry eventually becomes reality? Does he choose Jacob Fatu because of their real-life relationship and history together? Or does he reject everyone and carve out his own path? Every one of those possibilities creates years of storytelling, and that's exactly why WWE would value someone like Zilla so highly. Reports have also suggested suggested that WWE still views Roman Reigns versus The Rock as one of the biggest matches the company could ever produce if schedules align. Whether that eventually happens or not, the Bloodline story needs younger stars to keep moving forward after those legends finish telling their chapter. That's another reason Zilla feels so important. He isn't just arriving to participate in today's storyline. He could become one of the people responsible for carrying it into the future. Paul Heyman himself has publicly praised Zilla Fatu in the past, even suggesting that WWE would be making a mistake if they failed to bring him into the company. Coming from someone who has managed Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, CM Punk, and countless other legendary names, that's incredibly high praise. Heyman has spent decades identifying future stars before almost anyone else, so when he speaks that highly of someone, people naturally pay attention. There is also another reason why Zilla's arrival matters beyond the bloodline itself. WWE simply needs younger stars. Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins, Randy Orton, CM Punk, and several of WWE's biggest attractions are already well into established careers. They will continue drawing huge audiences for years, but eventually every generation has to hand the spotlight to the next one. WWE understands that better than anyone. That's why the company continues investing heavily in younger talents like Braun Breaker, Obafemi, Trick Williams, Jacob Fatu, and potentially Zilla Fatu. They're not just building next year's main event scene, they're building the next decade. The beauty of Zilla Fatu's situation is that expectations are already enormous, but they don't necessarily have to rush him. WWE has learned from the past that sometimes allowing a superstar to grow naturally creates far bigger rewards than immediately throwing them into the main event picture. Even if Zilla spends time refining his character before becoming a permanent fixture on the main roster, his connection to the bloodline means fans will always be interested in when and how he finally enters the story. Perhaps the biggest reason Zilla Fatu could change WWE forever isn't because he'll immediately win championships or headline WrestleMania. It's because he represents continuity. Wrestling has always been built on generations passing the torch. Roman Reigns became the face of his generation. The Usos became one of the greatest tag teams ever. Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu represent the current transition. Zilla Fatu has the opportunity to become the face of the generation that comes after them. If WWE handles his journey correctly, he won't simply be remembered as Umaga's son or another bloodline member. He could eventually become the next tribal chief himself, leading an entirely new era built around the same family that has dominated WWE for years. And maybe that's the real plan all along. Maybe Roman Reigns' current championship run isn't just about adding another title reign to his legacy. Maybe it's about preparing the next wave of superstars to take over once his own chapter comes to an end. If that's true, then Zilla Fatu isn't just another signing. He's one of the most important investments WWE can make for its future. Because when you combine real family history, undeniable athletic ability, an emotional connection to Umaga's legacy, and the biggest storyline in modern wrestling, you don't just create another superstar, you create someone capable of changing an entire company. But now the question is yours. If Zilla Fatu really is on his way to WWE, how should he debut? Should he align with Roman Reigns, stand beside Jacob Fatu, choose The Rock if that rivalry happens, or should he forge his own path completely? And do you think Zilla Fatu has what it takes to become the next tribal chief and change WWE forever? Let me know in the comments below.